Hey folks, welcome to the Tinfoil Fedora. This is Mike here, and right now there's this big deal going on about the NFL. The NFL and protesting and during the national anthem, and I hear it ranging from, oh, they're disrespecting the country, oh, they're disrespecting the flag, they're disrespecting the fallen soldiers, they're disrespecting. And I've been back and forth with this. I've said to some people one way that I feel, and the next kind of thing is like, well, wait a minute, but this opinion makes sense, kind of, and I'm back and forth. And that's how life should be. You shouldn't be dead set in your ways of, oh, it's my way or it's nothing. My father was in the military. He was in the U.S. Army in the Cavalry, flew a helicopter in Vietnam, and during my early years, never really wanted to talk about it, was never really political, never anything. But he was a very, this is my opinion, this is who I am, this is where I am, this is what I believe. And later on, he and I were able to have some talks, some discussions, and just how he felt about things. And this thing with the NFL, I've said they have the right to protest. I've said, I've agreed that yeah, it's a disgrace. And let me clarify my opinion here right now. My father and many other soldiers went out and fought a war, many wars, many battles. There's been many battles fought over this country. Many people have died. Many people have been injured. Many people have been changed. It's changed their life and their as who they are because of this. But what were they fighting for? This is where I'm having some issues with the way people are reacting. This all started with one person going down to his knee in protest, not to the national anthem, not to the flag, not to protest, white people, not to protest black people. What he was protesting, from what I understand, was the way the government, the way the police, the way everybody in general treats African Americans. Now, some people got offended about it. Some people say, oh, he shouldn't do that. He's disrespecting our country. He's disrespecting our flag. Well, these soldiers who went and fought, and this is the opinion that my dad has had in the past. Now, I have not talked to him about this recently, so I don't know specifically if this is how he feels about this specific incident. But they fought for our right to protest, our freedom of speech. That's what this country is about. This country is built on the fact that I can stand up and say, I don't like what's going on. I can take a knee in defiance of what's going on. I can step up in front of a police officer and not respond and defy authority. That's what this country is founded on. It's the freedom of being able to do what you want to do. Now, don't get me wrong. Hear me out. I know some of you are screaming at your phones, or you're screaming at YouTube right now. Hear me out. Just because you have the right to do something, and again, I believe they have the right to protest. I believe they have the right to take a knee. I believe they have the right to what they're doing is accomplishing what they're after. It's got national attention right now. But the problem is most people are not paying enough attention to realize what it is they're protesting. And that's where this comes in. What I want to say here is, just because you have the right to do something does not mean it's the right thing to do. Okay? I have the right to stand up and say whatever I want to say. I can say whatever I want to say on this channel. I can bash anybody I want on this channel. I can put somebody down on this channel. I have the right to right here, I could go out and go in my house, the front of my house, here in the door, many places that I have them. I could grab any one of my U.S. flags right here on this camera, hold the lighter up to it, and burn it. That is my right. There is no law that says I can't. There's flag etiquette, there's general guidelines, but there's no law that says I have to do this or can't do this. My freedom of expression, my freedom my freedom of speech. Sorry, mosquitoes. Apparently, I need to light my mosquito thing back here. My freedom of speech means I can do that, but that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I respect our flag. I respect our country. I respect the Constitution. I respect every single soldier who has ever strapped on gear, who has put on a uniform, who has stood in front of the enemy and either given their life or fought to, everything they've got to defend my right to stand here and burn a flag. It doesn't mean I should do it. Now, they're not protesting in the NFL right now. They're not protesting the flags. They're not protesting against the flag. They're not protesting against the anthem. Again, it's back to they've got the one original guy. What all these guys now are doing, what they're protesting now, in quote solidarity, and the entire team taking a knee, or the entire team not taking the field until it's over. That's a whole nother protest now. Right now, they're protesting Trump. They're protesting Trump sticking his nose in and going, well, you should be fired because blah, 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 blah. And then going on, as far, again, the president of our country, this distinguished office that, yes, he's a human being, but he needs to give it some more dignity to say, instead of calling this guy a son of a bitch. Okay? Don't get me started. That's a whole other video about the toddler in chief. They have the right to protest. What they're protesting now is, again, the general government, the way the administration is doing things, the way, again, Trump is throwing his thing in. This original guy, and maybe some others have joined in with him, they are protesting the government's treatment of African Americans. Now, does that mean, again, his protest is accurate, it's correct, it's things he should be protesting? To me, I think he'd be better served to bring to attention the black on black crime. And yes, here's a white guy here, right now living in Oklahoma, talking about black on black crime. I grew up in Southern California. I spent many, many years living in Norwalk, California. Spent a lot of time, doing work and stuff, going into Watts, so I've been around a lot of black areas. I've been around a lot of Hispanic areas. And the crime within those areas far surpasses anything that's being done to them by police. Does that mean no? I don't agree with what the police are doing to them. I don't believe. I do believe that there is such a thing as driving while black. I do believe that they are treated differently. I do believe racism still, is profound within most police departments. But that doesn't mean that, and if that's what he wants to bring attention to, I guess that's his choice. But I think he'd have a bigger impact if he were to look at, okay, what is Reverend Al Sharpton doing to increase the anger and violence within the community, as opposed to what one police officer may have done to one person. Anyway, that's my whole thing with the NFL. The NFL, I believe what they're doing, they have a right to do it. I think people need to kind of back off and take a step back and go and realize, okay, what is it? Wait a minute, hold on. We see you protesting doing this. And instead of screaming and yelling because of what you're doing, what are you protesting? Why are you doing this? Why do you feel that taking a knee during the national anthem is bringing attention to what you're protesting? That's what the issue is. That's the problem that's going on. So anyway, that's my NFL rant. That's my thing that's going on. Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of screaming and yelling. But if you guys want to see more things for me to talk about, if you guys want to hear me talk about more stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. If there's anything in this that made sense to you, if you agree with it, hit the like button. Let me know. If you don't agree, put a comment down. Tell me what you think. I'm going to try and respond to these comments and back and forth. And if you have questions, I may answer them in a future video. But yeah, go ahead and again subscribe, and we shall see you on the next one.